Microphone check. Microphone check. Shalom. Bless up. Bless up. Let's see if we can check these vocals. Turn me up in these head sets so I can be heard on both sites at once. On days like this, sometimes it's a tug of war between flesh and spirit. And so I would like to share with the world today, if I can, my stories, my testimony from the time that has been given to me. As always, I couldn't think of myself moving forward in life without giving honor where honor is due. To the Most High, I come to you and I thank you for another day. Another day that was not promised. Another day that you have granted me the strength, the blessings of life. That as your son rose according to your will, so did my spirit. So did my heart, my mind, and soul. I am grateful. I am grateful for this journey. I am grateful for my forefathers and mothers who have come before me, my ancestors who have came before thee. I am grateful for them for the journey, for all the mountains that they have accomplished and seas that they have crossed and pain, trials and tribulations that they have come over and had to overcome. In so many ways, Father, I pray for not just those that are near to me, but at all four corners of this earth. For in today's lesson, I have started with a blank page. I have no lesson. So in that manner, I will ask that you lead my spirit and soul. Take me where it is that you would like me to go in this moment, at this time. Grant me eyes to see, ears to hear, an open heart, soul and mind, spirit to understand your message, written from our ancestors and passed down through generations, that I may keep what is fulfilling to my soul and throw out any doubt. For in your word is life, not a word of confusion. I am grateful for this moment, this time. I pray for your world that you have given us to share in the moment that we have it, that we will do our best, that I would do my best to contribute to make it just a little bit better with the time you have given me. I praise you and I love you. I thank you for the journey of life, where you have brought us from, where you have us, most importantly, where you are taking us. May all things align according to your will, and that will be done. Of our ancestors of old, to present, to those that will come in the future. May we be blessed with entrance into your home, your house, that our mother and fathers teach us there are many mansions, that when we leave the flesh, our soul and our spirit lives on. May we be worthy of such a house within your mansion. I thank you for this lesson this morning, this reading. May it help just one person in this world, as you have and done for me, through your angels, your universe, and the people, the tools that have been used to help me. All praise and glory to you. I am. Thank you for this morning's prayer with me. Before I get started, my mouth is a little hoarse, so bear with me. Give me some tea. And I thank you for your patience. Put a little more sunlight in here if we can before we get going. This morning we're going to be reading from an ancient textbook. So I would like to open up the pages of the ancient Bible. And I'm just going to begin to read, and we will take it from there. We will see where our soul's spirit lead us. We are in chapters 37 this morning in an ancient text Bible of old. Before we begin, and I have explained unto you before that many of the people of God who understand these great miracles were forbidden to write about them in words that they were commanded to include in the records of the people. For hath the people been given all of the miraculous and miracles that Satan would give unto them, except he be commanded not to by the Father, the children of men would have destroyed themselves off the face of the earth many years ago. And it shall be revealed unto you in this record the time in which Satan shall be released and have powers over all his dominion. And at that time, the advancements and knowledge of the miracles that Satan have introduced among the children of men shall threaten the very existence of the earth. And iron ore is one of the miracles, for with the introduction Satan was able to raise up a great armies among the nations that followed him and chose him as their God, or as their gods. For in doubt, not matter to Satan has many gods, are used to keep the children of men deceived and under his power. And it came to pass that a great nation began to form, even the great Assyrian nation. And this nation began to use its weapons of warfare to overcome all nations of the earth. And they began to destroy the people of the earth and take them captive. I read from chapters 37 through 40. So we get the screen back up here. There we go. Well, I guess my spirit, in this morning reading obviously kind of spoke for itself. Whether we are at battle and at war internally as individuals, or whether we have been at war and at battle abroad via nations. My soul, my spirit has been in a bit of remorse, and I have hid myself from the world for so long during these last couple years, as I have tried to battle the strength that is within, although I cannot ignore the cries of the wars abroad. My heart not only goes to the today's wars that we see and face here in 2024. My heart, spirit, in prayer, meditation, and just about in my everyday life are for all nations that are at war. And the wars that have become quite popular here in these last 4 to 5 years. I share empathy and sympathy with the people that are at war via the Russia-Ukraine war, the war in the Middle East, between Israel and the people of Palestine. I search for words in an hour that bullets rain down and are flying. And I search for words because if I knew the one word, as I have sit in exile, and have shared a empathetic heart to the cries of war, to the people, to the children, to the women, to the young men that are being pushed to the forefront of these battles. If I knew of one word that would stop all wars, I would shout it at the top of my lungs every day so that wars would cease to exist, that the world would know of peace, that the world would know that they are safe, and that the Creator, the universal Creator over us all, has His hands in and just about everywhere you can imagine and think of, whether it be in the spirit, afterlife, or in the flesh that we know to be at this moment in time. If there was one word that I could find, I would have shouted it at the top of my lungs to stop the many hearts, souls that have been taken, hearts that have been broken, and pain that have been caused on those that are left behind to try to put the pieces of life back together and losing their loved ones. Since today's lesson picked up on nations and battles, I thought it was no accident that that's where the conversation opened up, and this is where it has led us to be. I sit in quiet as I reflect of the children who are being affected internally by war, and who have come to know war firsthand at their doorsteps. My soul, my spirit, is wanting to reach out and try to put my arm around each one of them and shield them from the fear that they are going through, that we have gone through, but more so in those wars that are raging at the moment and seems to be the topic of the hour. I pray for peace, that the universal God would heal the hearts and the souls of those who are responsible and have the power to inflict and stop war, that you would somehow mend their hearts, open and clean their ears a little bit more so that they will hear the cries that I hear. And some days, the pain that I feel, that I can't find a word to make it better. And in those hours and in those moments, that you would heal the kings and the rulers of this earth to do whatever is necessary to bring about peace. Even if it means setting justice aside in order for peace to come to the front for. And I pray this for the nations that are at war, not just the most two that we know about, but also the many wars that have been going on, whether it be south of the border, whether it be in Asia, whether it be China, whether it be the motherland of Africa. But people will come to a moment in time in their life and in their own capacity do whatever is necessary to bring about peace. Not just for ourselves, but of learning the lesson of those who have come before us. Most importantly, leaving a legacy of a lesson for those who is to come behind us. I am. Amen. And I say those prayers today. I had no intention on making this a part of my lesson. And as we are pushing the 20-minute window, I usually try not, Father, to speak so freely as once or twice I have in my lifetime have brought people and groups of people from far and near from the shadows. And this morning my fear is not of that happening again. My fear this morning is that it would be a echoing voice that just murmurs and eventually fades into the winds. If it's one thing that I've known, history has shown me, and life, is that most all things that are going up come back down. And for every wrong turn that we make, it comes right back around. In good spirit and in truth and in light, there is always darkness. There is always a path that is, and I have found this to be true in my life and in so many other lives that I have had the opportunity of walking with during my time on this earth. Those left and wrong turns are more accessible than making the right ones in life. So those are the roads that are frequently traveled in life. What is it to learn from our histories? What is the meaning behind learning from our forefathers and mothers' mistakes, triumphant from their victories? What is the lesson to be learned when you're standing on the shoulders of such giants in this world? So many great men, women. I have had the pleasure, the honor of sharing company with and getting lessons from, that have molded my vessel in this hour into the human being that I am. And in that small window of molding, of learning, it didn't always come in the light. Some of those lessons I learned in the dark. I no longer question life as I have come to the understanding, the overstanding, that the downs is where you're supposed to be taking notes. But it's hard to do so when you're stuck in your emotions about being down. For whatever reason, etc. Love, financial issues, pain, heartache, or just things not going your way. It is in those hours where the biggest lessons of life begin to mold me. And soon after, and sometimes, those trains of going downward is longer than you would like it to be. But soon enough, there's another bus stop ahead. And so begins the ups of life. And the ups of life, it seems that people love to share and talk about. Not so much as the lows. And on my way out, as we went over our time this morning, I would like to add that they're probably, if reevaluating and looking at it from a different angle, you soon realize that they are one of the same. That my ups were my down times, and my down times were the moment I was going up. And the only reason I can sit here and say that equivalent is because I feel that during those down times, we, as the Most High precious gift to this earth, above the universe, the animals, life in the seas and ocean waters, humans are his most prized possession, I believe. We are to learn from the example of the downs. And having said that, I would hope that we would learn also from the voices of the past. That in an hour such as the present, we are writing our future history for those to come behind us. Having said that, this morning I give all praise and honor to the Most High. And on my way out, I like to share a quick personal story. I was profiled recently, and I'm not speaking of it in anger, but more of an opportunity to teach. I have walked past certain individuals in this world at certain times, certain places, and as long as I fit the criteria, I go unnoticed. Sometimes I walk around looking like Sideshow Bob, my hair and the clothes and the rags don't look like this, whether they be jeans or sweats or hoodies. At this particular day that I'm speaking of, I was in a hoodie with my chains on, and my hat was backwards. In the midst of that, I was approached by a peace officer. At the moment, I thought maybe our spirits was pulling us closer to, become better acquainted. But soon after the first or second question, I realized that I was being profiled. Who are you? What is your name? And what is your daughter's name and your kid's name? And after a few questions, I realized, as I kept it very cordial and gentlemanlike, that I was being profiled. And the same individual who I have passed by for at least the last couple years, I guess never noticed. And at times I have spoken, in passing, goodbye, good morning, hello, etc. I would hope that they start seeing your neighbors, your co-workers, the guys who fix your cars and service your food, etc. I would hope that you start seeing them not for who you want and assume or think that they should be, but for who they are. And for that reason, I still find it hard to just want to dress up in nice rag every day, put on jackets and casual clothes. And I persist in looking like a Sideshow Bob from The Simpsons, because they don't see me. It's almost like you're invisible when you have their look, when you have their sound, when you're going to their beat of tune, of music that they are playing in life. And I guess the moment that you choose as your choice to wear whatever it is you are comfortable in wearing, it'll automatically have some people. And this is usually an old mindset that you are some criminal, you are some, I guess, thug of the dictionary, not the thug of Tupac Amaru Shakur, who abbreviated each of the terms. And I like to share them with the world if they haven't caught the movie. But it's just called Thug. Thug life, in my humble spirit, stands for the hate that you give me, or the hate that you give in the ends. It F's everyone. In my case, every child, because I was very young when I heard the terminology that was created behind rewording that word. And it made a lot of sense, so much so that as a child growing up, I believed it so much and baptized into that thought that the hate that you give the little infant, in the end, it will F everyone. That means the energy that you're giving the children of tomorrow will in the end come back and give it back to you, as the universe is, one of the universal laws is a sense of karma, that the energy you put out, whether you're working out, whether you're putting out love, whether you're putting out truth and light, eventually will come out. And so is the same as is double-edged sword, that if you're putting out ugly, if you're putting out evil, if you're putting out lies and destruction and hate, that will also return back to you. So in the good spirit of that, I would hope that some of our elders, it used to be that type of profiling from other races, of other ethnicity backgrounds who don't know me. But when I get it from my own people, it is a reassuring awakening that the world has yet not come into realizing that there's a new world that is trying to take effect in the whole as a whole, where those type of frequencies and energies, it's not allowed. You, in order to climb up the ladder, that you would target one of your own, or in order to please or say faith with one of your work buddies, or one of your managers, or somebody you're even crushing on, that you would use your costume, your title, if you will, to get your point across. I, through history, have seen it so much, and I personally have experienced it so much. And I guess what I'm trying to say is that it will continue to make me want to be different when I am confronted with such hurdles and obstacles in life. It just continuously make me want to stand out. And so even though today I have these nice threads on with the coat, I may very much change here in the next hour or so, just to put my hoodie and my chains back on and let my hair down, to show the world that, see me for who I am. And I get it, some jobs it pays to profile, because profiling leads to hitting your quotas, but not all of us that look, shape, and sound like this persona that you have created in your head is absolute. Especially when it comes to me, it's definitely hit and miss. No matter what I'm wearing, how I look, how my hair is, I would hope that you can still see and hear me for who I am. And so in my next videos, if I'm looking like the Sideshow Bob from The Simpsons, I'm still a child of the Most High Creator, our universal God, our Elohim. I am still protected by the love of His Son, Yeshua Christ, the prophet, messengers. I am still protected by my ancestors. I am still protected by the angels that are unseen and seen throughout this world. And this God has never demanded, requested that I have to change to meet any standards or make anyone feel more comfortable. I am no threat to you, whether my hair is looking wild, whether I got on baggy clothes and a chain on. I am no threat to you, unless you are a threat to me. But for the most part, I would hope that people can see past all that. See past the same people that we walk past on the street corner, the same drug addicts that we talk about, the same broken down widow or a woman who has fell on hard time and lost her children. That we have the same empathy for the youth that are out here, that we walk past every day, and because they don't fit the criteria of what we're used to having lunch with, or are used to going to Starbucks and ordering $17, $18, $20 lattes, that they are any less than you are. And so I thank God for allowing me to walk with that world on that side of the sidewalk, that I am now empathetic, sympathetic to it, and so much so that at times I become that character just to see how the world will treat me. Or will they still see me as who I am, child of God? Or will they see me as something else because I am no longer dressed to their standards or to their liking or to their community? To accept me, I would hope that it doesn't mean I have to cut my beard, that I have to cut my hair, that I have to dress in suit and ties every day. I would hope that you would begin to be able to see the youth, the children, the old, the broken, the homeless, the widows, the fatherless children, for who they are and what they're going through. Not so much as profiling them because they fit the handbook that you were handed and given. So, and having said that, I would like to say peace and shalom to this world. Thank you for joining me today. We are 15-20 minutes past our time, but everything that I've spoken and that have come to my spirit and soul, I thank the Most High for putting it there. Shalom, peace, bless out.